Hello, my fellow Lycans, newcomers, and passerbys, and we are back into Scum. We got a developer update today, and it looks pretty interesting. It's kind of like a mix between a roadmap and this is what's wrong, we're going to fix it type thing. So let's get through it. I am going to skip all the small information that doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll through here to give you guys a little sneak peek on what you guys are gonna see. It's a pretty interesting concept art and some new gear. It looks like it's gonna be coming up. All right, so we were supposed to get an update this Friday, but we did not get a content patch whatsoever because the devs were playing Scum. And when I say that, I mean dead serious. They were literally playing Scum for the past 3 days, and that sounds really bad on them and lazy. However, it's not. Because why were they playing Scum? Well, they got to figure out what's wrong with the game. They can't figure out what's wrong with the game, from our point of view, if they're always working on it and they can never actually play the game. So these are the issues that they found that they think needs to be fixed. Streaming optimization and city optimizations, user interface and base building, bug fixing and improving that, metabolism rework, AI and NPC, medical skill, cooking skill rework, and vehicles, which is going to be pretty interesting as well. And they also talked about animations inside vehicles, so that's going to be interesting to see. And it looks like Sippy, one of the devs, had his own little Q&A, and it says, okay, Sippy, you can make a list, that's great for you, but when will we see this? Well, the good thing is that even before the 3 days of playing, we were already working on most of these issues, which they were. And it says, we asked when, Sippy, not how long you were working on them, and then he responds with a date, and in-game dev, because you guys all know how dev's time is not the same as player time. It's two different times. Basically like time zones. It's like they're totally different planets. A day in player time is not a day in dev time because devs don't sleep. So they're basically infinite beings. So they are not going to give a date on when all this stuff will be pushed out. But I'm going to go ahead and do a little of my own theorizing here, and I'm going to give you guys an idea of what I think personally, keyword I, I might put a big I in the screen that you guys can see so that way you guys know I am saying this and not the devs. I personally think that first they are going to come out with some optimizations for the city, small ones at first, and then they will go out and put out the medical skill, which is something they've been wanting to put out for a while, and they're also going to be adding the cooking and metabolism. I think that's going to come out with the metabolism rework. I think that's going to come out with the medical skill, but in small portions. And then I believe that more optimizations will come along with that, and then again they're going to work on base building. And maybe along with base building some more optimizations, and then back again with some vehicles, and AIs are completely last. I do not think that AIs are going to be coming by the first quarter or even the second quarter of this year. I think that's going to be something that's going to be third or fourth quarter of this year. And when I say AI and NPCs, I'm talking about, you know, human AIs and NPCs. They might work on the mechanics of the AIs to make them a little bit better. They're obviously probably going to be adding new puppets and such, which is actually further down below in this. So I'll show you guys that in here in a second. But I do not think that you're going to see any crazy NPCs or AIs anytime soon. You're going to see them this year, just not soon. All the stuff you're going to see this year, I'm pretty sure, along with some other things that are not on this list. But these are the issues that they find the most important. But let's go ahead and talk about what they do have in the works right now. So, as it says, the medical skill is under rework. Like I said, after some optimizations with the city, they're probably going to add the medical skill because that is 0.3. That is still 0.3. Mind you guys, we are still on 0.3. No matter what anyone says, no matter what the thing says, this is part of the 0.3 update. We are not done with the 0.3 update. It is still being worked on to this day. So here you got some medical suits. They said they're going to add medical puppets to the medical points of interest, which would probably be the insane asylum. They don't have a hospital in the game, but I'm assuming that inside bunkers, inside any medic room, they're probably going to have medical puppets, and that is going to be very interesting. And as you can see here, here's some medical suits right here. And right here, they have the straight jackets, so that's going to be pretty darn interesting. They also said that they're also working on the stealth skill right here. So they said that the sounds are a bit wonky, so they're going to be working on the sounds. And that is actually very interesting. I wonder. Yeah, I'm assuming that it's going to be based upon your higher stealth, and when you open a door, it doesn't open as loudly. Seems kind of weird, considering, you know, you can open a door as slow as possible and as easy as possible, and it still creaks. So I wonder if that's going to be a thing or not, but I guess we shall see. They've also added weapon holsters, as you can see here. It is pretty cool. They also mentioned that they're going to be working on the weapon malfunction. I mean, they are working on the weapon malfunctions, and those will be live along with all these other things, like the metabolism work and yada yada yada. So we also have the camo for the guns, as you can see here. Looks pretty darn nice. And we also have the Ghillie Suit. So it looks like we have ghillies for the guns and ghillies for the suits. More gun customizations. Cool beans. Doesn't look like we have one for the MP5 here. If you look right here, look closely. There is not one for the MP5, but there does... Actually, there's a few of them that don't have ghillies for the weapons, including the Hunter, the Mosin. Look, it looks like the... Is that the shotgun? The M18 shotgun? Or 1892, or something like that, whatever. That old style shotgun. Estaz down there, doesn't look like it has a ghillie on it. Interesting. Here's the Ghillie Suit. Here is it in a beautiful field. Here is the Ghillie Suit on the ground. And here is the Ghillie Suit in some foliage. And here is the Ghillie Suit staring into the camera. Beautiful. Alright, this is actually the exciting thing that I really wanted to get to. So, when it comes to AIs and NPCs, now everyone wants AIs and NPCs, right? And this is actually some concept art. This is not something that they have in-game or that you can spawn in. This is just concept art. So remember that, and these look like, they don't exactly look like puppets. They do not look like puppets. They look more mutated and abused. As you can see, this upper right hand one right here, this one has its mouth sewn shut, it looks like. It has some kind of weird armor on it. Not anything like crazy though, besides that. You have another one here, looks like it has a flamethrower. Yep, that's a flamethrower attached to him. This one has another type of flamethrower attached to him, but a different concept for the face. They all seem to have the same body type though, so it does seem like they're going to be sticking with skinny. This bottom one looks more human-like, but it has like a shrapnel, maybe that's what it is. Basically taped onto his arm, which is very interesting. And well, what's cool about this one is it has something going into the back of its head right here, like a little rope, little wire or something like that. This guy has a big arm. That's about it. It looks like a powerful arm, but he has a really big arm. Looks kind of weird. And then we have here is the really messed up guy right here. Is probably the most messed up. And he has a flamethrower as an arm as well. And he also says, you know, to come up with some theories for these guys. And I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have an idea. I would call these guys ghouls, to be honest. They look like ghouls. And I don't think that they're puppets. I don't know if you guys ever want to get into lore in this game. I don't know if you guys don't care. If you guys don't care, you guys can just end the video right here, because that's about it. That is all I had to say about that. But if you want to hear about my idea of the lore, yeah, I really don't think that these are puppets. I do think that they're ghouls. I don't know why they look mutated, though. That's a good question. You could say that it's the radiation zone, because they do plan on adding a radiation zone to the game. I mean, they have radiation pills, so I mean, why not? And that these could be mutated like creatures. You know, it looks like some of their skin has melted. Yeah, that could be it. I mean, their skin is melted and everything else, so I mean, they could have been exposed to radiation zones, and then they were picked up by the prison system and had weapons attached to them, and they were just thrown back into the battlefield. So, and that's the reason why they look the way they look. So unlike the puppet, they don't look like they're controlled. They're going to be controlled by the prisoners or by the watchers of the show, but more like that they're just going to be crazed creatures with weapons, biological weapons, and they're just going to be placed on the island, and they'll probably just, you run into them and they'll just fucking fuck you up. That's what it looks like. Looks like they'll chase you down. But the flamethrower concept is very interesting, because if they have flamethrowers, where's our flamethrowers? Exactly. Think about that. Think about that. That's going to be some interesting shit to see. I am not going to lie. Now, another thing is, this guy has like 2 toes. Like, this guy has 2 toes, that guy has 2 toes, this guy has 2 toes. This guy has 3. But, and these guys don't have toes at all. It's just their feet, but that's concept art. That's very interesting. I wonder if they're going to go with the 2 toes idea, because it changes from that these are, you know, humans that were exposed to radiation to maybe they're their own biological design, like in the Hunger Games, where they created their own biological creatures. I don't know if this game's going to go the same route, but it kind of seems that way a little bit, because obviously right now we only have the puppets and we only have the robots. So I mean, you already have robots and you have zombie-like creatures, which are puppets, but they're more controlled, a little different. So I guess why not add mutated creatures? I mean, why not? We are in the future. They have flying drones everywhere. They have freaking, you know, giant mech robots. Supposedly they have freaking, if you just create a character, they freaking tie you up like in StarCraft, freaking up to a freaking huge metal table, and freaking it's like, oh, here, let me put all the shit on you for some reason. I mean, it's just weird. The technology they have in this game is super weird, and honestly, they really could add a little bit more to the technology in this game that you can interact with. That'd be interesting to see. And it'd also be interesting if you can cut off these creatures' arms and actually use the weapons on their arms. That is another crazy thing. But that's just a quick theory that I have for this. Other than that, that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoy your day. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see this year for this game and what you guys think you're going to see. Other than that, you guys enjoy your day, and I am out.